Okay, welcome. This is opinion writing. On your final written exam, you will be writing, well, your opinion. So, because there won't be time to actually do this in class, I will try to find maybe one class where we can maybe do this. Looking at the units that we have to do, it looks like we won't be able to. So I have made this video, and that is also why I'm having you write in class for the first 10 minutes, because again, there won't be any time to actually have a class or classes on writing. So here we go, opinion writing. You will see a paragraph. That paragraph will be about this building in Sampundong. And behind the building, you'll see this gray building. You probably see it on the map as well. The law students, that is their dormitory. But this was a solar panel home that was built, I think, as an example of what can be done with solar panels. But now it is empty. It's just sitting there. So if you ever want to see it, take a look at the map and you can go and have a look at it. It's still there. All right, but basically that is what the paragraph that we're going to be using as an example is about. And here's the paragraph. What space do you wish was something else? All right, so there are all kinds of mistakes here. Capitalization, punctuation. Take a look and see if you can spot them. You can always pause the video. And if you are going to pause the video, please pause the video now. Okay, you have unpaused the video and we will be looking at the mistakes, or we will be looking at the correction of this paragraph later after we talk about capitalization and punctuation. We will be starting with capitalization first and then punctuation. But for punctuation, we will be talking mostly about the comma. All right, let's talk about capitalization. All right, these are the 10 rules of capitalization. Let's look at the first 5. All right, as you already know, if it's a new sentence, the first word is always capitalized. When you are talking about yourself and using the pronoun I, that is always capitalized. Proper nouns. You can look at what is in the parentheses, but just remember names. If it's a name of anything or anyone, it is capitalized. All right, the next one. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Chuseok, and so on. January, February, March, April, and so on. These are all capitalized. Days of the week, holidays, and months. Okay, here's something that I rarely see. But yeah, if you're going to write what somebody said and you're going to use quotes, you capitalize before the quote. I was pleased when my teacher said to me, comma, quote, you are a terrific speller, period, end quote. Right. So inside the quote that's a new sentence. So you just go back to rule number one, the first word of a sentence. Just remember that. When you start a quote, it's a new sentence. And if it's a new sentence, the first word is capitalized. All right, it says here name, right? So again, that falls under proper noun. I will study French literature. So here it's the language. If it's the name of a course, so yeah, basically, if it's the name of a course or your major, hakwa, capitalize, again, proper noun. You capitalize the official title of a person when it's used in the person's name, right? Oh, Mr. Lee, he's a doctor, uh, but in this case, he's not. I'll explain why. But what I'm trying to say here is that if it's just the word doctor, it is not capitalized. But if you're using doctor, professor, uh, Mr., Miss, Mrs., these are all capitalized. Because here it says, my friend told me that Dr. Lee, so capitalized, is a great math teacher. And you're thinking, math teacher, Dr. Lee. Yeah, he's not a doctor of medicine or health. He's called Dr. Lee because he has a PhD. But basically, an official title, when used with the person's name, is capitalized. Speaking of names, initials, J.R. Waldern. Remember, J.R., those are still names. We just don't know what those names are, but it could be John, Jerry, Jack, who knows? Uh, those are just uh, initials. Okay, email or an actual letter. When you're starting it, always capitalize. Again, it's a new sentence, so and the same at the end. Salutation is the beginning of an email or letter, and the closing, of course, is the end. And of course, when it comes to titles, always capitalize the important words in a title. The rest I'll let you read as far as what you should not capitalize. Okay, so that should give you enough time to read this. Yeah, those are the 10 rules of capitalization. And now, punctuation. All right, let's all be super excited! Exclamation point, exclamation point. Not before we take a little break. Does anyone have a clue how to question mark, question mark? I think we should just stop. period. All right. Basically, what they're saying is how the punctuation mark is used, except for comma. Of course, you don't see the comma in what the comma is saying, but yeah, a little break, a pause. And that is what we're going to be talking about mostly, if not the only thing, is commas. Because the other three, I know that you already know how those work and when they should be used. So it's mostly commas. All right, let's go. Speaking of commas, here we go. The 10 rules of comma. Commas are when you're separating geographical names, items, and dates. Examples: Monday, comma, January 2, comma, 2023. My best friend is over here. Well, who's your best friend? Oh, my best friend, comma, Jane Baker, comma, is over here. All right, use commas in an introductory clause, phrase, or words that come before the main clause. So you might want to say, oh, how are you today? But you also want to say hi. So, hi, comma, how are you today? Here, you should never start a sentence with because. You can, but at your level of writing, don't. But the example here starts the sentence, because I'm sick, comma, I'm going home early today. All right, the next one, quotes. We talked about that in capitalization. You're using commas. What somebody said and then who said it. I told you to rinse the dishes, she yelled from the kitchen to his office. Oops, he stated while walking into the kitchen. I'll remember next time. Do you see what I did there? I had a pause. The pause was showing that's where the comma goes. All right. Use the commas in the middle of a sentence it's basically to separate information that is not important or not necessary to the conversation. Again, this goes back a little bit to number one. The bearded man stores bacon in his office. Who's the bearded man? Oh, the bearded man, comma, John Swanson, comma, stores bacon in his office. The hypothesis, which I tested, was rejected. I'm just going to do pauses from now on. The third one is basically an example of a clause that begins with that, and that is always restrictive, so a comma is not used. The information that you received yesterday was incorrect. All right, the next one, a series, a list. Right, growing up, I had goats, chickens, turkeys, and geese. It says here, separate coordinate independent clauses, and you're thinking, whoa, what is that? Fanboys. We talked about that. So yeah, basically fanboys, commas. I hate my job, yet I cannot leave because it pays the bills. this was talked about in capitalization and now in commas. The beginning and ending of an email or a letter. Dear friends, and then comma, sincerely, John. All right, 8, I don't think I need to really explain it. Every third number. Right. Okay. This is basically talking about adjectives. Hyoyoungsa. If you can use and, you can take and out and put in a comma. There is a bug on the big and brown box. And you're thinking, no, that doesn't sound, I mean, yes, I can say and, but I'll just change and to comma. There's a bug on the big brown box. And again, one more time, adjectives are coordinate if you can replace commas with the word and. Okay, you can replace commas with the word and. Basically, what you see written there is what I was saying. If you can use and, you can use a comma. And the last one, use a comma at the end of a sentence to separate coordinate ideas or indicate a pause or a shift. A shift is a change. As an example, he was merely ignorant, not stupid. And you're one of her close friends, aren't you? All right, so these are the 10 rules for comma. Now, earlier I had you pause the video and make notes on what capitalization and punctuation errors you saw. Let's check. Here are the capitalizations for the paragraph. Right, the first word of a new sentence and proper nouns. Sampundong, Mexican, and of course the pronoun I. All right, and here are the punctuation marks that should go in this paragraph. A sentence ends, period. There's a pause of some sort, comma. And here, the person seems to be excited about authentic Mexican food, exclamation point. The only question mark here is on the very top. What space do you wish was something else? All right. And this is what the paragraph would look like. So as you are looking at the paragraph, let me just say that, yeah, there's always those students who will write something this long or a little bit longer. But I'm thinking that, and what I've seen from the past, most students will probably write about half of this. But anyways, it will be an opinion, something that you think. So yeah, it'll be as long as you need it to be. All right, you've had enough time to look at this and listen to what I was saying. Let's move on. Transition. Transition just basically means change. Change from one job to another, one city to another, one house to another. Transition just means change. And in writing, It's basically what's used in writing to change from one idea or thought to another smoothly so that the reader is not shocked, confused, doesn't know what's going on. Wait, I was reading about this, now I'm reading about this. What happened? There's no change. I don't see any change. That's what transition does. In writing, you can smoothly go from one thought or idea to another. And what can you use for this? Here are some examples. Take a look. All right. And of course, if you want to know more about this or anything to do with ESL, just go to ESL.com. This is where I got this. All right, let's move on. These are some examples. Don't worry, I will not read all of them. But, smoothly changing from one thought or idea to another. Here we go. Let's see. There are a variety of good restaurants in the city. For instance, the Italian bistro on Main Street and the Chinese restaurant on Market Street. Let's see if we can find another one. Here we go. I enjoy going to the movie. Let me start again. I enjoy going to the movies, especially when there is a new horror movie showing. And the last one, he does like to go swimming specifically in the local lake. Okay, anyway, these are some examples of transitions. Most of these are transitions. I see one transitional phrase, and that would be for instance. But yeah, smoothly changing from one thought or idea to the next. And for you guys, here are some transitional phrases you can use to introduce your main points. Right? In my view, personally, as far as I'm concerned, from my perspective, there are many more. By the way, you're going to see S plus V. S would be the subject, the who or what, and the verb is the action word or the dongsa. The first reason is that, or to begin with, the most important reason is that another reason is that what we should also consider is that finally, lastly, one final point of view is that, one final point is that, and of course, like I said, from those ESL.com images, there are many, many more. These are just some of what you could use. All right, so here's the paragraph one more time. We use, like I said at the beginning of the video, we're using this as an example. So can you find the transitional phrases? There are 5 of them. I will go back and you will or you can pause the video and look for the 5 transitional phrases. So here we go. You can pause the video now. Okay, you have unpaused the video and you're ready to check to see if you have the correct transitional phrases, of which there are 5. Here we go. The first one, from my point of view. The second one, the first reason. The third one, another reason. The fourth one, finally. And the fifth and last one, in conclusion. All right, take a look. These are the 5 transitional phrases for this paragraph. And this is the basic structure of an opinion paragraph. So we will be starting with, it always starts with a topic sentence. Here's the topic sentence for the paragraph. From my point of view, the old solar panel home in Sampundong is a waste of space and should be turned into a Mexican food restaurant. Okay. So we know that it is a he who wrote this. We know that he feels that the old solar panel home in Sampundong is a waste of space, and that he feels it should be turned into a Mexican food restaurant. And we know that that is what we're going to be reading. His reasons for it being a waste of space and why he feels it should be turned into a Mexican food restaurant. So this is his opinion, which means your opinion paragraph should start with your opinion. All right. So the structure will always have supporting sentences. What are these sentences supporting? Well, there are 3 supporting sentences here, supporting 3 main points. These would be the 3 main reasons why you feel the way you do about something. You know, in my opinion, and then you make 3 main points, and for each main point you have a sentence supporting that. So let's take a look. Let's start with the 3 main points. Right? You should have 3 main points. All right. Can you find the 3 main points in this paragraph? Here we go. Pause the video now. All right, you've unpaused the video and you're ready to check to see if the 3 main points are the same 3 main points that you found. All right. The first reason is that the building isn't being used at all and is an eyesore. The second, another reason to change the building is that it will help everyone in the neighborhood. And the last one, I know for certain that a Mexican food restaurant will attract customers. All right, so we already said at the topic sentence that the writer feels that the building is a waste of space and should be turned into a Mexican food restaurant, and that we would be reading reasons why. Well, uh, he starts immediately with why it's a waste of space. And then he then talks about the reason why he feels it will help everyone in the neighborhood, and then finally uh, as to why it should be turned into a Mexican food restaurant. Now, for the first main point, he gives a reason. That is the supporting sentence, which is what we will get to next. And then for the second one, he gives a supporting sentence for that. And for the third one, he gives a supporting sentence for that. So let's get to the supporting sentences. Right, and we know there are three supporting sentences. How is each main point supported here? So I'm already showing you the supporting sentences. So for the first main point, he's saying that it's not being used and it's not nice to look at. And then his supporting sentence here is that whenever he walks by, he feels sad, depressed. Then his second main point was that it will help everyone in the neighborhood, and he supports that idea with saying that the more people who come, the more money the businesses in the area will make. And then he finally, his final main point was why it should be turned into a Mexican food restaurant. And he supports that by saying that he doesn't know anyone who does not like authentic Mexican food. All right, now, there are three types of supporting sentences that he uses here. There are many more, but in here, there are three types that he used, and that would be an example. Well, for example, that's an example. The next one, he uses the if this, then that. I'm holding a pencil. If I open my hand, then the pencil will fall. So, right? If more people come, then etc., etc. And then, of course, the last one he uses is the reason. Think of the reason as the why, right? Somebody asks you why, you say because, right? This is because. So again, for each supporting sentence, we have an example, a result consequence, and a reason. All right, so this now brings us to the conclusion of the paragraph, which is this. This brings all the main points together. In conclusion, changing that old building to a Mexican restaurant will be good for the neighborhood, make it more energetic, and satisfy people's desire for good food. Again, he brought the three main points together. Not the supporting sentences, but the three main points. That's the conclusion. All right, so we're getting to the end here. These are some some of the many websites that I feel are good for you to look at if you want more ideas. You can take a screenshot of this and type in the site's name or go into the class folder. The PowerPoint is right there, and you will have the link. So you can just click on the link. But yeah, that brings us to the end of the video. Happy writing, and remember, anytime you want me to check what you wrote in class, please give me your paper or notebook, and I will need your class number, your student number, and your name. And again, that choice of whether you want me to check your writing is up to you. But I'm doing this so that, well, this video plus the writing in class, so that you feel more confident about writing in general, and that your writing improves. And also, when it comes time to take the test and you're actually writing on the test, you feel, again, more confident about what you're going to write. All right, that's it. That's the video, and I'll see you in the next class. All right, bye.